I've been itching to follow up on this whimsical review I did a few years back on this $160 bone conduction headset, the AfterShokz OPenComm. That review was somehow my second best earning video, in a channel dedicated almost exclusively to $2,000-ish soundbar systems. The primary reason for this follow-up is that I'm a big fan of the OPenComm headset, not sponsored, and think it probably deserves more attention than it receives. But the branding has gotten somewhat convoluted since 2020, and I've been itching to bring some much-needed clarity. Before bringing this in, let's review what makes this headset special for the newly curious. First and foremost, it's how it gets audio signals to your brain. So instead of moving air which shakes your eardrum to create the requisite electrical signals, it sits on a bone next to your ear and vibrates it to stimulate electrical signals. Sounds really weird, but it works, and it leaves your ears entirely open. When listening, you can prove you are hearing via bone shaking because when you plug your ears, the volume gets louder and the bass becomes more prominent. If you're bothered by in- and over-ear headsets and you have to wear them hours each day for work, the OPenComms could be, not exaggerating, a life changer for you. In my opinion, they are far more comfortable than any other set you might put over your ears, and I continually find Shokz to be the most refined in sound, fit, and comfort amongst the bone conduction alternatives. You can wear them all day and avoid the kind of inflammatory, sweaty, plugged-up hell you might be suffering from otherwise.
Yes.
As any headset that bears the name OPenComm are 100% identical in functionality, spoiler alert, this will not be a review of 3 headsets. They're the same, though I will get to why they're named differently. And I'll review a new accessory for the OPenComms that's probably contributing to confusion. If you're seeking the full review experience, I would point you to my original video I did back in 2021, as there isn't a need to do the same review twice. 2 additional years with the OPenComm actually did not change my opinion in any significant way. Nonetheless, because you are here and not there, here is my very short pros and cons review. Pros: reasonable price for a flagship headset, stylish, sleek, light, comfortable, stays out of your ears, it doesn't cup your ears, almost invisible. It's the right balance of bendiness to stay on your head securely, but not so rigid to squeeze it. A boom mic with built-in noise canceling for better voice capture that can be moved up and down as needed. Fast charging and decent battery life. It's water resistant with an IP55 rating, so you can feel comfortable taking it outside for some exercise, and you don't need to freak out if it starts to rain or you start to sweat. And last, which is probably not the last of it, but multi-point pairing, which is nice as you can easily use it for a conference call on your computer, then take it for a walk with a podcast on your phone, with each device being recognized as needed. The cons. First, bone conduction sets do not sound as good as traditional headsets. The OPenComm is tuned for voice clarity, so strong upper mids, but a fairly weak response in lower mids and bass frequencies. So I suggest you use the OPenComms primarily for communication and podcasts. And as this headset does not enter nor cover your ears, the audio signal you are receiving is prone to masking, a particular issue in loud environments, where irrelevant environmental sounds freely enter your wide open ears and kind of jumble up the signal. 3 environments where I have found bone conduction headphones to be completely useless is in an airplane, just too much background noise, noisy rooms, and walking next to a busy street. My phone call, music, podcast just largely fades to gray in those circumstances. Now, I should mention that earplugs do fix the sound issue. The rub is that plugging your ears is exactly what you are trying to avoid. If you're planning on using the OPenComms mostly in a noisy environment, you're probably going to be unhappy with your purchase. The other bad thing, the mute feature. So there is no dedicated mute button, which seems like a reasonable thing to put on a specialized communication product like this. Muting requires a long press holding both buttons here, which is a little goofy and prone to error. Lifting the boom mic is the obvious should-be mute action, which is not supported, though it certainly reduces the strength of your voice. It gives you something like a 3/4 mute. When in mute, you get an annoying beep every 10 seconds or so. So if the only way you can mute yourself is to mute the set, well, this might not be the set for you. Okay, so now that we are at least familiar with the pros and cons of this headset, I'm going to continue in 3 parts. 1, what's up with the 3 model names? 2, tell you whether this little dongle here is worth it. 3. Do some mic tests in various noise conditions to demonstrate if other people can hear you. Okay, the 3 branding names. First, the 2020 AfterShokz OpenComm, the one I reviewed 2 years ago. Second, the 2022 Shokz OpenComm, released late summer 2022. Third, the 2022 Shokz OPenComm UC, also released late summer 2022. These 3 sets have the same size and weight. They use the same transducers, microphones, buttons. As I said, the same. So in 2022, AfterShokz changed branding and renamed the 2020 AfterShokz OpenComm to Shokz OpenComm. In addition, they made the OpenComm monotone, so bye-bye orange button Felicia, and hello to a darker gray, more business-oriented suit. Okay, so the AfterShokz to Shokz name change makes sense due to the branding change, and there were some skin-level alterations. Fair enough. So why do we have Shokz OpenComm and OpenComm UC? Well, as mentioned, the sets are the same, but when you buy the OpenComm UC, you are also buying the Shokz Loop 100 dongle. The UC might as well mean OpenComm sold with dongle. Okay, so the real story here is, should I buy this Loop 100 wireless adapter dongle? Well, I don't know. What is it? The Shokz Loop 100 is a dedicated connection between the computer and headset via a USB-A or C dongle that is perhaps less susceptible to the whims of Bluetooth. Which exactly what those are is unclear. In my, let's say, 18 months of experience using just Bluetooth with OpenComm, I've had something approximate to no issues with connectivity or clarity. So you're interviewing for which position? Are you on mute? That is, I did not suffer from cutouts or unacceptably poor voice transfer. When I turned on the headset, I quickly got the OpenComm connected voice prompt.
Welcome to AfterShokz. Connected.
In terms of range, the call cuts out at the exact same place in the house as I walk between rooms. But I'm gonna explore this further later in this video. Now, my use of the OpenComm has been very frequent but somewhat narrow, in that it has been nearly exclusively Teams. So I don't have a whole lot to say about switching between teleconference services and music and so forth, but in my rare case where I switch between 2 services, it has not been an issue. From written reviews of the Loop 100, it does seem that those that have to switch between multiple teleconferencing applications have found it useful. Perhaps more automatic in terms of discovering the Loop 100 over the OpenComm Bluetooth connection. I have found that to be far from obvious from my end. Something you lose with the loop is an indicator of whether your headset is on or off. Because with the loop, the computer recognizes the loop, not the headset. With Bluetooth, if the set is connected, it's on. So I've had to fiddle with the headset a few times to figure out if it's connected. Some sort of interface nugget signifying the headset is also on is sorely missing. The Loop 100 is compatible with all the OpenComm headsets, and you can pair up to 8 devices. This is a quiet room test with the OpenComm with Loop 100. I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me? This is a quiet room test with the OpenComm with Bluetooth. It's not a man purse, it's called a satchel. Indiana Jones wears one. The Loop 100 does sound a bit clear on my end, though it may be hard to tell with the YouTube compression. This is OpenComm next to a busy road. This is OpenComm next to a busy road. This is OpenComm next to a busy road. AfterShokz OpenComm in a busy mall with Bluetooth. AfterShokz OpenComm in a busy mall with Bluetooth. You can't make a Tomlet without breaking a few Gregs. The Bluetooth range is incredible. It worked at least another 50 feet back. Though in practical terms, as I've mentioned, it seems once you introduce walls, the range is the same between Bluetooth and the Loop 100. My buying advice is as follows. If you are interested in the OpenComm, don't buy the dongle up front. You can buy it separately for the same price. If you really like the set, for comfort and sound, but find switching between programs is too finicky with Bluetooth, buy the dongle to see if it helps. If it doesn't, return as needed. If you buy the UC bundle, then you kind of have to return everything if you don't need the dongle. Gonna wrap this up. Help me with my 20,000 sub goal by 2024 if you can spare a click. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.